Then he got up slowly. You mean it? You really want peace between us? Desmond nodded. Yes, I want us to be brothers again. Daniel walked to him and opened his arms. They hugged tightly. Thank you, Daniel said. This means a lot to me. The quiet streets of Abuja's rich neighborhood were full of green trees, big cars, and fine houses, but Amanda didn't care. She was running. She held a small bag of clothes, her legs were shaking, and her breath was loud and fast. But she didn't stop. If she slowed down, someone from that house might see her. They might call Chief Doden, and if that happened, she was finished. Chief Doden was a rich and powerful man, but behind his fine clothes and big smile, he was dangerous. Amanda had come to Abuja after her friend Ibi promised her a better life. Ibi said she had found her a job in a nice house, but it was a lie. When Amanda arrived, she was taken straight to Chief Doden's mansion. They told her she would be a housekeeper. But what followed was molestation, pain, fear, things she never imagined. Chief Doden treated her like a toy. She had gone through pain in that house. Now she was running away. She didn't even know where she was going, but she knew she could not go back. Tears filled her eyes as she thought of Ibi. Her own friend had sold her into this nightmare. Amanda ran past parked cars and big gates. The street was quiet, but her mind was loud. She could still hear Doden's scary voice in her head. She turned quickly into a smaller road. Her heart was beating like a drum. She needed to hide. She needed to disappear before Chief Doden's boys came looking for her. Amanda looked back in fear. She didn't see the black car coming from an intersection. A loud screech filled the air. Tires screamed against the smooth road. The car stopped just a few inches from her. Hey! Are you okay? A man's voice shouted. Amanda froze. Her legs were shaking. Her heart was loud in her chest. She turned slowly. A tall man stepped out of the car. He wore a clean white and dark blue shirt and looked like someone who had never suffered a day in his life. Amanda tried to speak, but her throat was too dry. She was too scared. What were you thinking? The man said again. You almost got yourself killed. Amanda's legs gave up. She fell to her knees. I'm sorry, sir, she cried. Please help me. I have nowhere else to go. The man stepped closer. His face was now softer. He looked at her carefully. Who are you running from? He asked. Amanda quickly turned her head and looked around. It felt like Chief Doden's boys were near. She could feel their eyes. They were coming. She had to move. My friend lied to me, Amanda said. Her voice was shaking. She told me I had a job in the city, but she took me to a man, Chief Doden. He locked me in his house. He did horrible things to me. His guards wouldn't let me go outside. I was like a prisoner. She wiped her tears. I saw my chance and ran. But if they find me, they'll take me back. She looked up at the man. Please, sir, I just want to get away. The man looked at her dress, her dusty feet, and her tired eyes. He didn't speak for a moment. Then he stretched out his hand. Get in the car. Now. Amanda paused. Her heart jumped. Could she trust him? What if he was just like Chief Doden? But she had no choice. She took his hand. He pulled her up. What's your name? He asked as she sat down. Amanda, she said, almost in a whisper. The man got behind the wheel. His eyes were still on her. I'm Daniel, he said. Let's get you somewhere safe. The car started moving. Amanda looked out through the window. A black SUV stopped at the corner. Two men jumped out. They were looking around. God's men, Amanda thought. She quickly sank deeper into her seat. She held her bag tight. She had escaped, but could she trust Daniel? Amanda stared through the car window as they reached a beautiful black gate. The gate opened slowly, like in the movies. The car moved into the big compound. Her eyes widened. There were flowers everywhere. The house was very big, like something only rich people lived in. Daniel parked the car near the steps and came around to open her door. She stepped out slowly, holding her small bag tightly. "You're safe now," Daniel said. "Come inside." Amanda looked at him, then at the house. It was too beautiful. Too quiet. Too clean. Her legs were still shaking. Daniel gently took the bag from her hand. "Don't be scared," he said. "No one here will hurt you." Amanda followed him inside. The house smelled like soap and flowers. The air was cold. The lights were soft. Paintings hung on the walls. She looked around like a lost child. She didn't say a word. Her heart was still beating fast. This place didn't feel like anything she had ever known. Chief Doden's house, there were no loud guards, no heavy doors, no shouting. But still, she didn't trust anyone. Not yet. Daniel opened a door on the left side of the house. "This is the guest room," he said. Amanda stepped inside. It was beautiful. The bed had white sheets. The pillows were soft. A big window showed the flowers outside. "You can stay here," Daniel said. "Take a bath, eat, rest." Amanda looked around slowly. Her hands touched the bed. It was soft like clouds. She sat down, but she didn't speak. Daniel stood at the door. "If you need anything, just press the bell beside your bed." Amanda nodded slowly. He gave her a small smile, then walked out and gently closed the door. She sat on the bed, hugged her bag tightly, and cried softly. No sound, just tears. All she wanted was peace. Just peace. The next morning, Amanda stood in the kitchen stirring rice on the gas cooker. Then she heard voices. Loud ones. 2 men were shouting outside. Amanda walked quietly to the window and looked out. She saw Daniel, the man who saved her. He was standing face to face with another man. The other man looked angry. He was younger, but his voice was sharp. They were arguing about their father's property. After some minutes of a heated argument and raining insults on each other, the man turned around and walked away. Daniel stood still for a moment, then he turned and went back inside. Amanda quickly returned to the pot. Her heart was beating fast. A few minutes later, Amanda set the table. The rice was ready. She placed 2 plates, 2 spoons, and a jug of water. Then she stood near the chair, not sure what to do. Daniel walked in. "Sit down," he said gently. Amanda sat. Her fingers played with the edge of her dress. Daniel took a bite of the rice, chewed slowly, then looked at her. "Why are you not eating?" he asked. "I'm fine," she said quietly. But she was not fine. Her stomach was tight. Her head was full of fear. What if Daniel's brother asked him to send her away? Daniel smiled a little. "You cook well," he said. "Thank you." Amanda gave a small smile, then looked down. "Thank you, sir," she replied. They ate in silence for a while. But Amanda could still hear the angry voice of Daniel's brother in her head. "This house doesn't feel safe anymore." Amanda was cleaning the living room carefully and quietly. The house was big, and she didn't want to make any mistakes. She wanted to show Daniel that she was useful and needed, so he wouldn't change his mind about keeping her around. Her mother had sold her best cloth to pay for her transport to the city, and she didn't want to return to the village in shame. Suddenly she heard footsteps. A young man walked down the stairs slowly. He wore a gold chain and carried a phone in his hand. His eyes landed on Amanda and he stopped. "Who are you?" he asked coldly. "Are you the new maid?" Amanda's heart skipped. She held the hand towel tighter and stood still. "No, sir," she said, her voice small. The man looked her up and down. "So what are you doing here? Cleaning the house for fun?" Just then Daniel walked into the room. He saw Amanda and looked straight at the man. "She's my guest," Daniel said firmly. "She stays here." Desmond laughed and shook his head. "Oh, I see. So this is now a charity home." Daniel didn't blink. "She stays," he said again, even louder. Desmond hissed and walked past them, brushing Amanda's shoulder with his arm on purpose. Amanda looked at Daniel, fear in her eyes. "Don't worry. That's my younger brother Desmond. He talks too much." "Just ignore him," Daniel said. But Amanda couldn't ignore Desmond's eyes. The way he looked at her felt wrong. Something about him made her heart feel heavy. It was late. The lights in the house were low. Amanda sat on the edge of the bed, folding her wrapper. She was just about to sleep when she heard the gate open and slam shut. Voices followed, one voice loud and angry. "Desmond." He was back. Amanda quickly stood up and walked to the door. She opened it just a little and looked out. Desmond was walking through the sitting room, his shirt half open, his steps not steady. He was drunk. The smell of alcohol filled the air. When he saw Amanda, he pointed at her with his car key. "You," he shouted. "Go and make me food now." Amanda didn't speak. She just nodded and turned to the kitchen. As she was carrying the food to the sitting room, Daniel stepped out of his room. He saw her with the tray and stopped her. "Amanda, where are you going?" he asked. She looked down. "Desmond asked for food," she said. Daniel looked angry. "You are not a maid in this house. He should make his own food." Amanda held the tray tighter. "I'll just give it to him this once," she said. "I don't want any trouble." Daniel sighed. "Okay. But this won't happen again. If he speaks to you like that again, you tell me." Amanda nodded. But deep down she was scared. Desmond's eyes were not normal, and she knew this was just the beginning. The afternoon was quiet. Amanda was washing plates in the kitchen when she heard loud voices. "Daniel, you think you can control everything?" It was Desmond. "I'm tired of your nonsense, Desmond." Daniel shouted back. Amanda quickly dropped the plate and rushed to the living room. She saw both brothers standing face to face. Their eyes were hot with anger. Desmond was pointing his finger. Daniel's fists were tight. "Stop it, please," Amanda cried, running between them. She tried to hold Daniel back to stop him from hitting Desmond. But in that moment, Daniel lifted his hand and it hit Amanda's face by mistake. "Ah!" Amanda cried out and fell to the floor. Daniel's eyes widened. "Oh no, Amanda," he rushed to her side. "I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" Amanda didn't answer. She stood up slowly, covering her forehead with her hands. Her eyes were full of tears. Daniel tried to hold her. "Please forgive me. It was an accident." But Amanda didn't look at him. She turned and walked out of the house. She went to the garden behind the house, sat on the grass, and held her arm tight. Her tears dropped slowly. She didn't make a sound. Her heart was heavy. The pain wasn't just from her forehead, which had been hit by mistake. It was from something deeper. Amanda sat in the garden, tears streaming down her face. The fight between the brothers had brought back a painful memory. She didn't hear footsteps behind her. Desmond came and stood beside her, looking down. His voice was cold. "You should mind your business next time," he said. Amanda looked up slowly, her eyes were still filled with tears. "Wait, are you still crying over the incident that happened hours ago?" "No. I used to have 2 brothers." Desmond raised his brow, not expecting that. "They fought a lot just like you and Daniel. One day they were shouting in the car. They didn't see the truck coming. They both died." Desmond looked away. Amanda's voice shook a little. "After that, my uncles took everything that my father left before his demise, his company, his houses, everything, and left nothing for my mother and me. No house, no food, nothing." She looked at Desmond. "That's why I try to stop fights. I know how it ends. It doesn't end well." Desmond didn't say anything. He just stood there. Amanda looked down again. "I don't want to lose anyone else," she whispered. For the first time, Desmond didn't have anything to say. He turned and walked away slowly, leaving Amanda alone in the garden. But something had changed inside him, even if he didn't know it yet. That evening, the sun had gone down and the garden looked calm. Amanda sat down on the seating area in the garden where she always went to think. Then Daniel came out from the house and walked toward her. "Amanda," he said softly. She stood up quickly. "Yes, sir." He smiled a little. "Please stop calling me sir. My name is Daniel." She looked down and nodded. "Okay, Daniel." He took a breath and looked into her eyes. "You've been through so much, but you're still strong. I see how you work, how you respect everyone even when they don't treat you well." Amanda stood quietly, her hands tight in front of her. "I want to help you more," Daniel said. "Come and work in my company." Amanda's eyes grew wide. "What?" Daniel nodded. "You're smart, you're careful. I believe you can do well." Tears filled her eyes. She couldn't speak. Instead, she dropped to her knees. "Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. I don't know what to say." He quickly moved closer. "Stand up, please. You don't have to kneel." Amanda wiped her tears and stood up slowly. "You'll start on Monday," he said gently. "Just do your best." Amanda smiled for the first time in days. "I will. I promise." Monday morning came. Amanda stood in front of the mirror. She wore a clean shirt and a fine dark blue skirt that Daniel had bought for her on one of his business trips. Her hair was packed neatly. "This is your new life," she whispered to herself. She arrived at the office and stood in front of the big glass door. She took a deep breath and walked in. Inside, the place looked like something from a magazine: shiny floors, big desks, people in nice clothes. Everyone moved fast. Amanda found her desk and sat down quietly. Then Daniel walked over. "You look good," he said with a smile. Amanda smiled too. "Thank you, Daniel. You're on a 3-month trial. Just learn fast and do your best," he said. Amanda nodded. "I will, Daniel. I won't disappoint you." The house was quiet that evening. Daniel sat alone in his study, reading a file. The door opened slowly. It was Desmond. Daniel looked up, surprised. "You need something?" Desmond stood still for a moment. Then he stepped in and closed the door behind him. "I came to say sorry," Desmond said. Daniel blinked. "Sorry?" "Yes," Desmond nodded. "I know I've been rude. I know I've caused problems. I don't want to fight with you anymore. Daniel leaned back in his chair, watching him closely. Why now? Desmond looked down at the floor. Then he said, Amanda's words, they stayed in my heart. The story about her brothers. It made me think. I don't want us to end up like them. Daniel was quiet for a while. Then he got up slowly. You mean it? You really want peace between us? Desmond nodded. Yes. I want us to be brothers again. Daniel walked to him and opened his arms. They hugged tightly. Thank you, Daniel said. This means a lot to me. Outside the door, Amanda stood quietly. She had come to drop a file but stopped when she heard their voices. As she listened, her lips curved into a small smile. For the first time in a long while, her heart felt calm, safe. She turned and walked away quietly, leaving the brothers inside the room, together at peace. The next morning, Daniel knocked gently on Amanda's door. Good morning, he said with a smile. Are you free during lunch hour today? Amanda looked up, surprised. Yes, Daniel. Why? I want to take you out for lunch, Daniel said. Just a small thank you. Thank you for what? For bringing peace to my house. You changed my brother. That means a lot to me. Amanda looked shy but nodded. All right, Daniel. Thank you. Later that day, Daniel picked her up. They went to a quiet restaurant not too far from the office. At the restaurant, they sat by the window. Daniel ordered rice and chicken for both of them. As they ate, he said, Desmond is changing. I see it. And it's because of you. Amanda looked down. I didn't do anything big. You did. You spoke with your heart. That's not easy. After the meal, Daniel said, let's go somewhere. They stopped at a big shopping mall. Amanda's eyes grew wide. Pick what you like, Daniel said. No, Daniel. I can't. You can, and you should. It's my gift. Amanda smiled slowly. She picked a few clothes. Daniel watched her, happy. For once, she looked like someone free, someone without fear. Something was happening in his heart, but he didn't know what to do. He liked her, more than just like. But he was scared. What if she thinks I'm just playing? What if she thinks I want to take advantage of her, he thought. For days, he tried to talk to her, but the words never came out. He would walk close, then turn away. One afternoon, Amanda was sitting in the garden when Desmond walked up to her slowly. Hi Amanda, he said. She looked up. Hello. Are you okay? Desmond sat beside her and took a deep breath. Amanda, I've been wanting to talk to you about something. I have feelings for you that go beyond friendship. I've tried to hide it, but I couldn't keep it inside anymore. Amanda was quiet. She looked at the ground. You don't have to answer now, Desmond added. I just wanted to tell you. She nodded slowly. Okay. I'll think about it. 3 days later, Amanda came to him. Desmond, she said, I've thought about what you said. I think I feel the same. But I'm worried. What about Daniel? Desmond held her hand gently. I'll talk to him. I won't hide this from him, I promise. Amanda looked at him. For the first time, she saw him not as a proud man, but as someone honest. She gave a small nod. All right. Let's see how it goes. Desmond smiled. Hope was growing in his heart. That night, Desmond stood at Daniel's door. His heart was beating fast. He knocked and waited. Come in, Daniel said. Desmond stepped inside. Daniel was sitting on the couch, watching the news. I need to talk to you, Desmond said. Daniel turned off the TV and faced him. What's wrong? Desmond took a deep breath. It's about Amanda. I like her. And she likes me too. I came to tell you before things go further. Daniel's face changed. He stood up slowly. No, he said firmly. I don't support that. Desmond blinked. Why not? Because you're not right for her, Daniel replied. You're too rough. You've hurt too many girls before. I don't want you to mess her up. Desmond frowned. That was in the past. I've changed. You saw it yourself. Or, is there something else you're not saying? Daniel looked away. He clenched his fists. Desmond stepped closer. Do you like her too? Daniel didn't answer. So that's it, Desmond said, nodding slowly. You like her. That's why you don't want me near her. Daniel still said nothing. Desmond turned and walked to the door. She deserves to know the truth. And I won't hide how I feel. He walked out, leaving Daniel alone in the room, staring at the floor. Daniel sat back down. His chest was heavy. He had tried to bury his own feelings, but now they were rising like fire. He knew nothing would ever be the same again. From that day, things started to change in the house. The peace that Amanda had brought was slowly falling apart. Desmond tried to talk to Daniel again. Please, brother. I'm not trying to hurt her. I truly care about Amanda. But Daniel raised his voice. I said no, Desmond. Leave the girl alone. Desmond stepped back. Why are you shouting? I'm trying to be honest with you. Because I know you. You say you've changed, but I don't believe it. Amanda is not like other girls. You'll break her heart. I won't, Desmond said softly. She means something to me. Daniel looked away. He was breathing fast. His chest felt heavy. Desmond walked out, sad and confused. The next day, Amanda was getting ready for work. Daniel knocked on her door. You're not going to the office, he said. Amanda looked shocked. Why, Daniel? What did I do? You don't need to go anymore. I'll send your things later. Amanda's heart broke. She said nothing. She just closed her door and sat on the bed, crying. That evening, when the house was quiet, Amanda packed her clothes into a small bag. She wrote a short note and placed it on the table. Then she left. When Daniel came back, he saw the note. His hands began to shake. He called Desmond. They checked all the rooms. Amanda was gone. They ran out of the house, asking people in the estate if anyone had seen her. No one had. They went to nearby streets, showing her picture and asking everyone. A young man near the gate said, I saw someone like that. She was walking toward the bush path behind the estate. There's an old building there. Daniel and Desmond stood still, breathing hard. The man at the gate looked at them with tired eyes. You said you saw her? Daniel asked. Yes, the man replied. I saw her earlier today. But you have to give me something before I show you where she went. Daniel frowned. Are you serious right now? Someone's life might be in danger. The man didn't say anything. He just stood with his hands on his hips. Desmond looked at Daniel. Let's just do it. Time is going. Daniel pulled out some cash from his pocket and gave it to the man. The man took it quickly and smiled. Follow me. The man led them through a narrow path beside some broken fences. The brothers followed closely behind, eyes sharp, hearts beating fast. They passed a small bush area, then turned into a quiet lane behind the estate. After walking for a few minutes, the man pointed. She's inside there. It was an old, uncompleted building. The walls were dirty. There were no windows, just open spaces and broken blocks. Daniel and Desmond rushed inside. Their shoes stepped over stones and dry leaves. The light from outside barely touched the corners of the room. Then they saw her. Amanda was sitting in a corner, hugging her bag like a baby. Her eyes were red. Her clothes were dusty. She looked up slowly when she heard their footsteps. Her eyes widened. Desmond? Daniel, she said in a soft voice, almost like she was dreaming. Desmond's voice broke. Amanda. He rushed forward but stopped halfway, afraid to scare her. Amanda stood up slowly, still unsure. Why? How did you find me? She asked, her voice shaking. We searched everywhere, Desmond said, walking closer now. We were scared, Amanda. We were so scared. Amanda looked from Desmond to Daniel. Her hands were shaking. I didn't know what else to do, she said. I felt like a problem in your house. She looked at Desmond, then looked down. I didn't want to cause more trouble. I just wanted peace. Running away is not peace, Daniel said softly. You scared us. Amanda's lips began to shake. She wanted to speak, but instead, a tear rolled down her cheek. Desmond reached out his hand. Let's go home. Please. You're not alone. We'll fix this. Amanda looked at his hand, then at Daniel again. But she didn't move yet. Then slowly, she took Desmond's hand. Together, they walked out of the broken building. Amanda held her bag tightly. She looked tired, but her steps were steady. Daniel walked beside them. Desmond was still holding her hand as they walked side by side. After a while, Daniel looked at Amanda. I'm sorry, he said. Amanda looked at him. Her voice was low. It's okay. No, it's not, Daniel said. You didn't deserve what happened. Amanda gave a small nod. I just wanted peace, that's all. Then Desmond said. We were scared when we saw your note. Amanda looked at him. I didn't know what else to do. I thought leaving would make things better. Daniel shook his head. Running never makes anything better. Talking does. They kept walking. The gate to their estate came into view, and with quiet steps, they walked back home together. Amanda opened her room door and stepped in slowly. The air inside was still, like nothing had happened. She dropped her bag on the bed, but it slipped off and landed on the floor. Desmond was right behind her. He picked the bag gently and placed it back on the bed. Then he stood there for a moment, just looking at her. I'm happy you're back, he said softly. Amanda turned to him. Her eyes looked tired, but they held something gentle. Me too, she said. There was a short silence. Desmond reached out and held her hand, just for a second. He didn't say anything else. He turned and walked out, closing the door quietly behind him. Amanda sat on the bed and looked at the door. A single tear rolled down her cheek, but this time, it was not from pain. Later that evening, Daniel sat alone on the couch, holding a cup of tea he hadn't touched. His eyes were on the floor, lost in thought. Desmond came in and sat near him but said nothing at first. After a while, Desmond spoke. I know you care about her. Daniel nodded slowly. I do. There was silence again. Daniel looked at his brother. But you love her. Desmond didn't answer right away. He stared at the floor, then looked up at Daniel. I didn't plan to, he said. It just happened. Daniel's face was still. His voice was calm but heavy. She's special. Desmond nodded. I know. Daniel looked away again. His fingers tightened around the cup. He looked like someone holding something heavy in his chest. I just didn't want her to get hurt, Daniel said. Desmond nodded. I know. There was a short silence. Then Desmond added. I won't hurt her. I promise. Daniel kept his eyes on him for a long moment. His jaw moved like he wanted to say something else but couldn't find the words. Finally, Daniel gave a small nod. I hope so, he said. Desmond leaned back slowly. The room stayed quiet, but inside both of them, something had shifted. Not everything was clear yet, but one thing was certain, this was no longer just about love. It was about trust. And trust takes time. The next morning, the house was quiet. Amanda sat on her bed, brushing her hair slowly. Then there was a soft knock on the door. Come in, she said. The door opened gently. Daniel stepped in. He wasn't in a suit like usual, just a plain shirt and trousers. His face looked calm but serious. Amanda stood up, looking at him with careful eyes. Daniel gave a small smile. I want to say something, he said. Amanda waited. She didn't speak, she just looked at him, wondering what he was about to say. Daniel took a deep breath. I'm sorry for everything, he said slowly. I didn't handle things well. Amanda said nothing at first. Then she nodded gently. It's okay, she said. But Daniel wasn't done. No, he said. It's not just okay. I was angry. I was confused. And I acted badly. I wanted to protect you, but I went about it the wrong way. Amanda looked down at her fingers, then looked up again. Her voice was calm. I know you meant well. But I was really hurt. Daniel stepped closer. I now understand that you and Desmond truly care for each other, he said. Amanda's eyes blinked slowly. Her chest felt tight. Daniel smiled again, this time with a bit of sadness in his eyes. He told me everything. And I can see it now, the way he looks at you, the way you look at him. Amanda looked away for a second, then she turned back to him. Are you okay with it now? She asked softly. Daniel nodded. I want you to be happy, Amanda. That's what matters. Amanda smiled, small and slow. Thank you, she said. The room was still, but something had changed. Later that day, Desmond came into the living room. He had just finished speaking with one of the workers outside. He paused when he saw Daniel sitting on the couch, waiting. Daniel stood up slowly. His face was calm but serious. Desmond looked at him, unsure what to expect. I spoke to Amanda, Daniel said. Desmond raised his brows a little. You did? Daniel didn't say much. He just stretched out his hand. You have my blessing, he said. Desmond froze for a second, not sure he heard right. Then he stepped forward and shook Daniel's hand tightly. Thank you, Desmond said, his voice low but full of emotion. Daniel smiled. Just don't mess it up. Desmond smiled back. I won't. I promise. The handshake said it all. A wall had broken, and now something new was about to begin. That night, the house was calm. There was no more shouting, no pain, just peace. The three of them, Amanda, Daniel, and Desmond, sat at the dining table together. There was rice and chicken on the table. Amanda dished the food. Daniel poured drinks. Desmond passed the spoons. They ate and talked like one big family. Amanda looked at the both of them. Her eyes were bright. A small smile played on her lips. I'm glad I met you too, she said softly. Daniel looked at her and nodded. We're glad we met you too. Desmond smiled without saying a word. At the table, he held Amanda's hand gently. She squeezed his hand back. Nobody said anything for a while, but deep in their hearts, they knew, everything felt right again. No secrets. No shouting. No fear. Just peace. And in that moment, the house felt like a true home. What did you learn from this story? Please tell me in the comments section. I'd really love to read your thoughts. A brand new story is coming in a few days, so please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss it when it drops. If this story touched your heart, please like this video and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.